What is up, bros and broettes? I am Inkslasher, and what you are looking at on screen here is the new map in Call of Duty World War II called Dunkirk. Now, you may recognize what you're seeing here because Dunkirk was actually a movie that came out earlier this year, and this map almost looks identical to that. Now, we're going to talk about that in a little bit, but first, I'd just like to say that this map is coming out on April 10th for DLC 2 for World War II. Now, I got to go down to Sledgehammer, play DLC 2 a little bit early. That's how I'm bringing you guys this gameplay, so thanks to Activision for flying me down there. But let's talk about Dunkirk, and as you can probably tell by the title of this video, I think it's a remake map. Now, it's not advertised as a remake map, however, the design of it, the way it's laid out, is very similar to the map Bog from Call of Duty 4. Now, it's not identical to Bog, there's actually several differences, it's just the main layout. On one side of the map, you have the buildings. The buildings are on either side, and then in the middle, there's a little gap between them. Now, a main difference between this map, Dunkirk, and Bog is the buildings in Dunkirk are actually 2 stories, whereas Bog, the 2 buildings are simply 1-story buildings. Then in both maps, straight down the middle, you have a street separating the buildings from the wide open side, where in which Bog, you see a bus in the center of the map, whereas in Dunkirk, it's a boat in the middle of the map. Of course, there's going to be debris scattered around that open area in different ways on either map, but it's fairly similar, and in fact, the way it plays is very similar. On this map, sniper rifles are going to reign supreme. There's so much open space that you can do a number with sniper rifles, just like in Bog in Call of Duty 4. The other thing I will say after editing this all together, the one thing I saw the difference between the 2 maps is, first of all, Bog is a little bit larger. It has more wide open space that makes up the map, and because of that, it just feels a bit bigger. Now, as I mentioned, they didn't advertise this as a Bog remake, and I think it's because there's several differences. The main one being that the buildings are 2 stories as opposed to 1, as I mentioned before. Now, I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say. Based on what you're seeing here, do you think it's a remake? Is it too far off to be a remake? Let me know what you think in the comments. And this also may change actually once you get your hands on the map and can actually play it. But based on my feel, based on when I played it, it felt very, very similar to me. And I don't think that's a bad thing. In fact, I would have to say, out of any of the maps that we played, this is absolutely the one I did the best on. Is it my favorite? Not quite. It's very, very close, though. In fact, if I was to rate this map on a scale of 1 to 10, I would probably give it like an 8.5. It's that good, and I almost never give out 10s, so that's saying a whole lot. This map is very good, very well designed. Speaking of the design, the way it looks is absolutely perfect. So, if you've seen the movie Dunkirk, this is the exact same place that that movie takes place, hence the name of it, right? The look of this map they pulled off so well. It's not quite a night map, but it's very stormy, it's very dark. On top of that, the look of the ocean kind of right beside the map looks very well done. Overall, I think they just nailed the aesthetic of the whole Dunkirk feel that the movie does as well. And then finally, I kind of touched on it before, how does this map play? So as I mentioned, the area where the boat is on the kind of shore of the ocean on the beach, it is a very wide open map. Long-range rifles, LMGs, snipers are going to do extremely well in this area. Whereas the opposite area of the map, the area where all the buildings are, up the one side, you're going to succeed a little bit more with SMGs. Even some people were using shotguns in this area. And the one thing that I'm really going to say about this map more than any other map, not only in this DLC pack, but in the entire game, they have very, very tight spawns. And what I mean by that is they don't flip easily at all. So if you're playing Domination, Capture the Flag, Gridiron, you can spawn trap the enemy team to a massive extent. 2 of the people we were actually playing with, we spawn trapped them so bad that 2 of them got enough kills to get V2 missiles. Unfortunately, the V2 missiles were not unlocked, so they weren't able to get them, but they got a long enough kill streak that they could have got it if they were turned on. So, as I mentioned, the spawn trapping on this map is very, very strong. It's funny too, similar to Bog in Call of Duty 4, you could really spawn trap on that map as well. As far as kill streaks go, once again on this map, I think the aerial score streaks do very well. I would say almost 3/4 of the map is out in the open with no cover. The only side that does have cover is once again those 2-story buildings. The rest of it is wide open. So the top 2 kill streaks and best ones on this map, I would have to say, are probably Fighter Pilot and Ball Turret Gunner if you're able to get it. In fact, I got a couple of Fighter Pilots on this map, and one of them I got like a 4 or 5 man feed. It was pretty insane. So guys, I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say about this map. Personally, I really enjoyed it. As I mentioned, I think it's very similar to Bog. One of the main differences between this map and Bog, though, is, as I mentioned, those two-story buildings, both of them actually look over the center of the map. So you can go up in that second story and try to snipe people or use a long-range weapon to take people out, which is very different than Bog, of course, but that's really the only major difference. So, like I said, I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Also, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and until next time, peace out.
Hold on to